Hey, what's up Digiman and Digiwoman? If you're new here, my name is Joe and my channel is mostly focused on the Dragon Ball Super card game, but I've been wanting to add a bit more Digimon content to the channel for a while, and I thought I'd start out with a deck profile that I recently topped locals with, as we all know is obligated to do when coming second with a yellow deck. To be fair, topping my locals is no mean feat. We have some top players there, and we get a very good turnout week in and week out. Digimon is more of a side game with me, with Dragon Ball Super being my main focus. So I've been thinking of getting some of those great players from my locals to collaborate with me for some Digimon videos. Stay tuned for more on that, but for now, let's get into the profile. And first and foremost, I like deck building thematically, so my driving force in building this one was to build it around my favourite Digimon, which is Gatomon. Now, you can call it a yellow Mastemon deck or a War Greymon deck if you want, but to me, it's Gatomon Recovery. Although it isn't as recovery focused as it used to be, I probably need to come up with a new name for it. So let's go over what I played against and the results I had. First up, I had a 2-0 win against Red Omnimon Turbo. Wasn't too much trouble here, but admittedly was against a new player. Though I wasn't going to let myself underestimate him, knowing that he is a good seasoned Yu-Gi-Oh player. Now next up I had a 1-1 draw against the eventual first placer John and his Lord Nightmon deck. A good convincing win for me in the first game, but he's a good player who tops often, and he worked out how my deck worked and had better luck in the next game, but it was a grind, evidenced by the fact that we ran out of time. Ultimately, if he told me at the start of the tournament I'd get a draw against him, I'd take that every day of the week. Round 3 was a 2-1 win against Hexablaumon. Game 1 I won pretty quickly, but I had a terrible start in Game 2 and I couldn't stop him from getting a couple of Hexblaus on board and I couldn't come back from that. Game 3 was a tight affair and we had a few spectators at this point and we gave them a good show. It went down to the wire, but ultimately I came away with the win. Round 4 was a 2-1 win against what I think was Security Control. I'm not really too sure. But across 3 games, I managed to play my Omnimon's Wart defeat from my security at least 5 times, while he, who also was running Zwarts, didn't luck into them once, so he was seething. Sometimes luck can be a big factor in Digimon. Don't know what else to say but shrug. In the end, I did have the same results as the winner John, but he had stronger tiebreakers according to Challenge, so I came second. Okay, going through the deck, starting off 4 Koromon and 1 Upamon. The deck is built around having 3 or less security, and Koromon's negging ability can be useful for board control when stacked with more neg effects. Level 3s, I have 2 Pulsemon. I only have 2, but I don't know if I'd put in more if I have more. Can't fit everything in, and I have other level 3s that are there to do certain other jobs. 3 Salamon, there to stack up negs, and is thematically there because it digivolves into Gatomon. 3 Recovery Salamon. In my old build, this was an important card for recovering, but now I'm finding it's more there as a just in case, but often enough just gets digivolved on top of, and that's fine provided I don't need to hardcast for it. 2 Recovery Patamon, just in case really, and I'll touch a bit more on him in a bit. 3 Bushy Ogumon for a bit of rush action. And on to level 4s, starting with a playset of the blocker Petermon. And then for more cheap evolve cost, we got 2 copies of Terurimon. 3 Gatomon, like I said, it's a Gatomon deck, and she does the business. 3 Recovery Gatomon. This is the main Gato, and she does her job when we get to level 6, so we'll talk about that in a second. 4 Angelwoman. An important card, slows down the opponent's turn with her security attack -2, and then with her inherited effect, gets out your Bushy Ogumons or Patamons or Pulsemon. 3 Recovery Angelwoman. I wanted to run her at 4, but I had to admit to myself that 3 was a better number. The recovery ability is great, but the other Angelwoman is more important. And 2 War Greymon. He has two important uses. One is to reduce a stronger Digimon more than I can with Koromon, Salamon, and Gatomon when I need to. And the second is if it's being digivolved on top of a recovery Gatomon and I need to get Digibursting, it will help me get her into the drop, which is where I need her to be. For level 6s, I have 3 Wargreymon. Now he's still an undeniably strong level 6, getting in 2 attacks, reducing my opponent's Digimon's power, and then getting my security down to 3 where I want it. But my main level 6 in my eyes is Mastemon. Wargreymon is more aggressive, but I'm more of a control player, so Mastemon trashes one of my security, one of my opponent's security, and then plays the Gatomon from the drop, which recovers back the security and then acts as a blocker. Or it could recover back Patamon if that's my only option. Besides a few ratio tweaks, the deck is largely the same to what I was running before Set 5 dropped, except for these 2 new inclusions. We have Omnimon Zwart Defeat. You can digivolve on top of Mastemon if you need him to, but it's great when they're played from security. And with the recovery-based deck, that helps the odds of that happening. For Tamers, I have 2 TKs and 3 purple Karis. I really like the purple Karis, and they go off when Wargreymon takes a security, or when Mastemon trashes a security, or even when you play TK. Or you can just save them for when your opponent attacks and end their turn early. And for options, we have 2 Blinding Rays, which also activates Kari, by the way. And we have 1 Hell's Gate, because why not? I'm running purple, may as well. That was what I was thinking. At 1, it's probably not very consistent, and I've had people say, why even bother putting it in? But it's done the business for me when I've needed it to a few times, so it's alright there. And that is my Gatomon deck. Let me know what you think, and if you like the list and want to see more Digimon content that I've got coming your way, or if you're interested in Dragon Ball content as well, hit subscribe, and I'll see you then for the next one.